Judy, what's wrong?
Something's wrong with my watch.
No, there's nothing wrong with your watch. There's just big changes happening. We'll tell you next on Garden Time. Welcome to Garden Time. Now, the big changes we were talking about is that today's show is 1 hour long, and those 1 hour long shows will last through the end of June.
Today we're at Leach Botanical Garden, and we'll be talking about the plant sale that's happening today and also about the big changes happening in the garden. Also coming up in the show today, I built a potting bench. We'll show you how I did it and how you can win it.
We're also going to tell you how to get rid of the weedy grasses in your lawn.
But first, we're at Tsugawa Nursery and talking about small fruiting plants. I'm in Woodland, Washington at Tsugawa's Nursery with Brian Tsugawa. And Brian, you know, springtime, we want to put new plants in, but we also want edible plants. So we have a great selection here. And I just love the way you picked out some that are really unusual, like this yerba mate.
Yes, it's new for us this year. It's kind of a marginal, great for patios or containers, 25 degrees hardiness. So get your crops off it and then try to winter it over, like probably a cool lit area like garage or something like that.
Sure, but make some tea. It's
right,
delicious.
Yes.
Really nice.
It'll be fun.
And then this one is to make tea, Korean tea.
Exactly right. We've carried the tea plants for a while, mostly customer requests doing that for us. But again, another fun one to do just for your own teas.
And it's actually a camellia, so maybe a little afternoon shade?
Exactly, yeah. Probably protect it from that hot afternoon, 2 to 4 o'clock, and it'd do very well.
And everyone's favorite blueberries. I think I haven't seen so many blueberries in everyone's yards these days.
We picked out really nice ones that would work for containers or small gardens, 2 to 3 foot tall, 2 to 3 foot wide. The pink icing is one that actually has the pink berries, not blue, but pink berries would do really well just for a different color for whatever, fruit pies.
Looks beautiful.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's evergreen, like you said, but look at this spring color of the foliage. It's just gorgeous.
Yes, with the contrast with the flower, it's just it does say a 4-season showstopper, and that is one thing that I would have to commend it for. It's going to be attractive instead of just looking at twigs in the winter.
Exactly. And then this one is Sunshine Blue blueberry.
Sunshine Blue's been around for a few years now. Very popular. It's a great, sweet. It really is surprisingly doing very well for everyday use.
And I think planting a couple different ones is nice for pollination, but you get all the different flavors when you kind of mix them in a bowl.
Probably different crops too, kind of stagger them so they don't all come at once, ripen at the same time. That's what's nice about the blueberries. It's basically like 3-4 seasons, early, mid. You can kind of stagger your crops so they're not all at once, and unless you do want them all at once, then you can just plant more that season, and so you'll have more for freezing and stuff like that. Yeah.
And then this one is the peach sorbet.
Peach sorbet's been last couple years. Yeah, another new one. It's all by the Brazelberry stuff, and they do really well. They've just been doing really well with the dwarfers, smaller gardens. And,
great for containers. Yeah. And then we have another evergreen plant here, and this one, sometimes it's more unusual, but it's been around forever.
It has been a great landscape, just for the landscape, for the foliage, flowers, but yeah, lingonberry.
Yeah,
you get them nice little, bright little orangish red fruits on them.
And nice for sauces, for pancakes and crepes.
Jams, and everything else. Great one. It's becoming a good standby.
And then a dwarf raspberry. Which one is this?
This one here is going to be raspberry shortcake. Thank you.
No problem.
2-3 foot tall, I think it is. All these are last 2, 3, 4 years. I'm going to guess they've been around, but it's nice to have. I mean, raspberries normally are going to take over.
Take so much space.
Exactly. So containered edible fruits seems to be pretty popular. Everybody wants to be able to have a little fresh in the morning, and
right out your door.
Right, so you can wake up and have it right there.
And what is this tall one here?
Well, this is becoming more popular, and that is going to be. We have. It's a dwarf, Hinomaki gooseberry variety, yellow fruit, and so they come in a different. There's like 3, 4, 5 different varieties of the gooseberries, but it's something that in the last 2 years is just becoming more, people are...
They're rediscovering them, you think?
Yeah, I think that'd be the word. We are just seeing that they're available and requesting more varieties. So it's a great one.
Yeah, they're a little bit tart, but I think that
Very
you kind of
tart,
make them in pies or jams, and they're really great.
I usually learn from customers. They always tell us what they do with them, and you're right. That's the best information is from our customers, and they'll tell us what they do and what they request for. But yeah,
and then this one, this is kind of an odd one with these yellow flowers.
It's very unusual. They kind of open up to a nice little dainty. Yeah, it is very pretty. But what's nice about it, this is going to be the honeyberries, and there's a couple different varieties of the honeyberries. Again, another new one for us, but we're learning very high in antioxidants.
Ooh, good for you.
Higher than the blueberries, so
wow.
it's good for one's, you know, just to get the antioxidants,
sure.
and of course probably going to be high in the vitamin C's and excellent flavor. Very unusual. But,
well, really, you have a huge selection among everything else you have here. I mean, you have a beautiful nursery, so many different plants to come and visit, and really pick up some edible plants for your landscape or your containers. Thanks, Brian.
Thanks, Judy.
Garden Time is brought to you by Capital Subaru, your way on the Parkway.
I've been a Capital Subaru customer for 15 years, and one of the main reasons is because they treat me well and I want to shop local. The service department is excellent, and I always feel like I'm taken care of here. In fact, they call me now even after I've driven off the lot to remind me to come in and get my car washed. That's service. One of the reasons why I like coming to Capital Subaru, actually, they have the dog area, and I can just walk my dog around the whole area and we can enjoy the outside. I got it my way on the Parkway.
Over the 30 years that our family has been in the nursery industry, we've learned that anyone can supply a customer with plants and garden supplies. But it's supplying those plants and supplies backed by a knowledgeable staff that can transform a garden and take it from ordinary to extraordinary. That's what we do at Sagawa Nursery. Why be ordinary when you can be extraordinary? Sagawa Nursery, growing beyond the ordinary.
Look at your home. Winter left behind grungy stained decks, walks, siding and lawn furniture. You know they look awful. Clean them all today with the original and still the best 30 Seconds Outdoor Cleaner. Since 1977, 30 Seconds has delivered clean when you want it clean. Easy to use, spray it on, wait, then hose away winter dirt, grime and stains from algae and mold. From our family to yours, thank you for buying 30 Seconds Outdoor Cleaner. Find it at leading home stores and garden centers.
So I'm standing here with Tom Combs, and you are of Bonide, right, Tom?
Correct.
So we're going to be talking about things that are happening at this time of year, which is an explosion of growth. Unfortunately, sometimes there's things growing that we don't want, and a lot of times they appear in our lawns.
Yes,
so
they are.
First of all, let's talk about some of the weeds that really are populating our lawns at this time of year. You have a selection of them here, I see.
I do. I do in my own yard, matter of fact. With the warm weather we've had and some recent rains, a lot of the broadleaf weeds and grassy weeds are actively growing in our turf grasses, as you can see here. So we've got some weedy grasses going here. This is commonly known as annual bluegrass. You can identify it with the little seed capsule that it sets at a very low height, and over time it can overtake your turf grasses. And we've got some products that we're going to demonstrate today and show you. Other things that are going on in the turf is plantain. This is a very common broadleaf weed. Yeah. And then we've got some dandelions popping over here that had a flower on it a few days ago. So as you can see, a lot of weeds in general growing in our turf grass.
So what is the product that you're going to be showing us today? Tell us about that.
So we've got a product here from Bonide. It's called Weed Beater Plus, and comes in a number of different sizes. The one in my hand is a ready to use, so it's pre-mixed. You just pull the trigger and do some spot spraying.
Nice.
Excellent for small areas. And then the other size is what I call a hose and go, or a ready to spray. And the garden hose goes here on this side, has an on and off switch, and then a fan tip, so that'll spray about 25 feet in a nice even fan pattern as it comes out.
So it seems like this would be a pretty easy way to take care of your lawn, but why don't you show us like how you would actually apply it?
Love to.
Okay, Tom, now I was watching you do that, and first of all, I saw that this is really, really easy, but let's be realistic. You don't want to do it if you have like more than 12 plants in a space.
Correct.
I mean, 12 weeds in a space.
Correct.
So now the easier thing to do, though, is the spray and go if you have an entire lawn to do. Tell me some of the tips that you followed while doing that.
Yeah, great point. So on the 32-ounce ready to use, the one in your hand, that would be just for some small areas.
Yeah.
Maybe you have 6 to 8, 12 weeds. Again, small areas, that would be a good choice. The one in my hand with the hose connected to it would be for much larger turf areas, say 1,000 square feet or bigger.
Okay.
And you have, again, both grassy weeds and broadleaf weeds. With the normal water pressure at the hose bib, as you can see, this will throw about 25 feet.
Yeah.
But be careful, you know, this is a weed killer. It is a weed beater.
Yeah.
But it also would harm ornamental plants. So
Okay.
as you can see, as I applied this, I was very careful of not getting it on the ornamental plants.
So I would think then if you were really cautious there and you still had weeds close to the beds, you could use this one
Absolutely.
then and hit them
Good
that
point.
way. Okay.
Yep, good point.
And what about temperature?
Temperature is key. We need temperatures of 65 and above.
Okay.
We also want to be cautious not to be spraying when it's extreme heat, and that would be 80 and above.
Okay.
Now, if we're forecasting 80 and above, we can still go out in the morning and spray this, but just don't do it during the heat.
Because I would think it does need a dry time before rain or sprinklers
Yes.
hit it again.
Yeah, and this time of year, you know, the weather patterns can be very unpredictable.
Yeah.
So this does need 5 hours of dry weather after it's applied to be effective.
Perfect. Well, you know, if it's that time of year, you're out in your garden, you're going, oh my goodness, look at my lawn, I've got to do something with it. You can go to gardentime.tv, we'll click you over to the Bauman website. You can find out where these beauties are sold, make your lawn perfect for those summertime parties. Thank you so much, Tom.
Thank you.
Oh, and there is the last one, Judy.
Great.
Now, you might think it's odd that we are putting out wasp traps at this time of year, but really this is the perfect time of year to do it because the queens are just now emerging to look for new places to nest.
Right, so you want to clean all the traps that you've had out all year, and then you want to put in the new pheromones. Now this will attract only the stinging insects that bother us all summer long, like yellow jackets and wasps, and it won't hurt the beneficials like honeybees.
And remember, to make it even more effective, hang several of them around your garden. Putting out your wasp traps, that's our tip of the week.
Why let the weather dictate when you can enjoy your garden? With a greenhouse by Solar Gem, you don't have to. Grow your dream garden year-round right in your own backyard. Our long-lasting fiberglass greenhouses are made for gardening enthusiasts of all skill levels and delivered right to your home. Solar Gem greenhouses need no assembly, are virtually maintenance-free, and come with a limited lifetime warranty. Call us at 800-383-3055 or find us on the web at solargemgreenhouses.com.
It's the 13th annual Garden Palooza, April 11th at Fir Point Farms. See over 45 plant growers and garden vendors. Free parking and free admission. Enter to win a $2,500 garden makeover from French Prairie Perennials. Garden Palooza, Saturday, April 11th at Fir Point Farms.
Little Baja is your source for a whole lot of terracotta and concrete too. From bird baths and benches to Buddhas, bears, and fountains, plus the exclusive Baja chimney. We have an amazing variety of the finest in terracotta and concrete containers. Come check out our selection of statuary for any garden theme or setting. So for something for the garden, deck, or patio, come see us at Little Baja on East Burnside in Portland. Find us on Facebook too.
Since 1937, our family has been deeply rooted in the Northwest nursery industry. Our love of plants goes back 4 generations. To this day, Garland Nursery inspires to bring you the very best variety of plants, top quality garden supplies, and all the pieces you need to create a beautiful and bountiful garden. Garland Nursery, inspiring beautiful and bountiful gardens.
So I'm standing here with Brian Bauman, and normally we would be at Bauman Farm when I talk to Brian. However, we're at Fir Point Farm. So what's going on? Did you buy this place now, Fir Point Farm?
No, in fact, lots of people have kept asking us that. But Jack and Jessica Romaine, who own Country Greens and own Fir Point, wanted somebody to come and maintain the greenhouses during the spring and have plants in order to offer, in addition to all the great stuff that they have at Fir Point. So we're just here hanging out with Jack and Jessica Romaine.
And you were here last year because you always come to Garden Palooza, and you were here then, but then you stayed after. That's what you're going to be doing again at this location, right?
Yeah, it was kind of, as we started looking at the calendar for spring on when we were going to be here, we realized first that Easter is this weekend, first weekend of April. Well, we had to move Garden Palooza to the next week because they're so busy here with the bakery.
Yeah.
And that meant that Bauman's couldn't be here full time or taking over everything until the third weekend of April. So we're having our grand opening April 18th.
Wow.
But we didn't want to wait that long.
No.
So we've put together some stuff. We've actually kind of filled up the glass greenhouse right next to the bakery. We'll have this going starting this weekend until actually July 4th this year.
And of course, as always, you have such amazing plants, but there's some really cool specific things that we were going to talk about.
Edible gardening is so big.
It is.
People are always looking for something new and different. And I think we found some really fun stuff. This is a brand new strawberry. It's called a hula berry. And the interesting thing about it is it's actually white.
Oh, come on.
The fruit is
really
white and it tastes like a pineapple.
Oh.
Thus, hula berry.
Of course.
And it's interesting because the white strawberries actually have to have a red strawberry to pollinate it. So we've put together these kits of 3 white strawberries with 1 red strawberry in here. So you can take this home, plant it in a pot, plant it in the ground, and it's all right there. It's all ready to go.
Very, very convenient. Yeah, I'm going to have to be getting one of these myself because I want to see them and taste them.
That's right. And so we've got these here now today at Fir Point, and we'll have more as the month goes on. But I'm getting lots of questions at the nursery. It's been a beautiful March, and people are always, where's your tomatoes? What's going? So my dad told me, okay, you got to put out the tomatoes. But here's the thing: it's still a little too cold to put them outside.
It is.
So I've been telling, we're going to have tomatoes here. In fact, we've got some new tomatoes that I want to tell you about. But I want to let people know they need to be careful. They need to protect them still because we still could get a frost. The night temperatures are still really cold. So you can use those wall waters. You can put it in a pot in a protected porch or patio, but make sure you protect them.
And just be aware that they're not a cold weather plant. They like the heat. So
they like it warm.
But even more so, you have a really special tomato that you're talking about today.
There's some great heirloom varieties of tomatoes.
Yes.
Great flavor. For example, Brandywine, probably one of the ones that's won the most taste tests. But heirloom tomatoes just don't produce nearly as well as some of the hybridized versions that we have today. So what the company Ball has done is taken 2 different heirloom tomatoes, crossed them together, so you still get that same great heirloom flavor, but you get a much bigger bounty of tomatoes.
It's the best of both worlds.
Exactly.
And of course, you're going to have these here as well, right?
That's right. So this one's called Big Brandy. We have 3 different varieties.
And then as always, just loads of color. You guys do color so well. And even looking around us right here, there is so much brilliant color.
There's lots of stuff. I mean, that's one thing great about this beautiful weather we've had. Lots of things are coming out. We've got lots of options available. And we'll have those starting Fir Point this weekend. It's our first chance we're going to be here, so come by and say hello and see what we got.
So they can come by this weekend and get some stuff. Then of course, you'll be here at Garden Palooza.
That's right.
And then your big grand opening is the 18th.
The 18th. That's
Wonderful.
right.
Well, for more information, you can always go to gardentime.tv. We'll click you over to Bauman Farms website. Get everything you need to know. Come on out, buy some beautiful plants, white strawberries, and great tomatoes right here at Bauman Farms. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Brian.
William.
For this week's plant pick from Little Prince, I'm at Little Prince with Mark. And Mark, what is the plant pick this week?
We have Erodium, the genus Erodium, of which we grow 4 different cultivars. We have Erodium Bishop's Form, which is the darkest pink. We have Erodium Charm, Erodium Alba, and Erodium Flora Plano. And these are great ground covers. I like them because they're very clumping, and they don't spread too aggressively.
They're really a great plant. I'll tell you why I like them is because you can use them in so many different applications. You could use them as a ground cover, but a rock garden, edge of a border, in between stepping stones.
Yeah.
I think it's really a nice, well-used plant.
Yeah, and it also, they give you some early flowering, which is great for ground covers. So yeah, we love them.
Yeah, and so what kind of sun?
I would put them in full sun to partial and they'll bloom better in full sun.
Oh, okay. And I think that if you wanted to propagate them, you could just divide them and kind of multiply their numbers?
Absolutely.
And Mark, you said something about drought tolerance, so what do you mean?
Yeah, the erodiums will handle very little moisture if you need to, and however, it's a very adaptable plant, so they'll adapt to a wide variety of cultural situations.
And I would think let them get established before you kind of cut back on that water, add some compost in, and really a nice planting hole as usual.
Yeah, and I think one of the biggest mistakes gardeners make is overwatering. Water them in good when you plant them, and then walk away from them for a while, and they'll do a lot better.
Yeah, just
make them grow some roots.
Right. Well, if you have any other questions or where to find these at your local garden center, go to gardentime.tv. We'll click you over to the Little Prince site. It's a great site for more information about all kinds of plants and where to find the plant pick for this week. It's Erodiums. Thanks so much.
You're welcome.
The health and beauty of your garden starts from the ground up, and healthy soils begin at Grimm's Fuel. For the best in garden mulch, blended soils, and bark dust, choose Grimm's. U-Haul delivered or installed, Grimm's can do it. And if you're looking for a new lawn, Grimm's can do that too with our special lawn installation service. Grimm's is also the area's largest recycler of yard debris. The foundation for a healthy garden begins at Grimm's Fuel.
It's the 13th Annual Garden Palooza, April 11th at Fir Point Farms. See over 45 plant growers and garden vendors. Free parking and free admission. Enter to win a $2,500 garden makeover from French Prairie Perennials. Garden Palooza, Saturday, April 11th at Fir Point Farms.
Your garden is only as good as the ingredients you use. That's where Black Gold can help. Black Gold Seedling Mix is formulated for successful seed germination and strong seedling growth. Black Gold Seedling Mix is organic and OMRI listed, so you can start this year's organic garden outright. Look for Black Gold at your local garden center or go online to blackgold.bz. Black Gold, all the riches of the earth.
Millions of tulips transform an Oregon farm into one of the most colorful in America. The Iversons invite you to the Wooden Shoe Tulip Festival presented by Silverton Health. Enjoy a tulip market, food and wine, and fun for the kids. The Wooden Shoe Tulip Festival, open 9 to 6 daily now through May 3rd.
Well, it is such a delight for me to be at the Leach Botanical Garden, and I'll tell you, this is one of the hidden treasures of the beautiful city of Portland that it's here in. And I am with Scott, and you are the head gardener for this wonderful location, are you not?
That's correct.
So I want to ask you right away, getting to work in this piece of paradise, what is it that is your favorite things about it? What really do you just get so excited about?
I really think the word that best describes it is just the setting.
Yeah.
One of the things you might have realized on your way out here is that this garden is not typical of what this area of Portland is like.
Right.
You drive through industrial areas, you drive through residential neighborhoods, and then you suddenly come on to Johnson Creek Canyon, and it's this little paradise in here.
It really is.
It is. And so when I'm working here, I just feel so fortunate that I'm in a setting where I feel like I'm in nature. I feel like I'm surrounded by interesting wildlife, and of course the plant life is really captivating for me too.
And what is it right now at this time of year that's in bloom? Because I'm looking at some stuff that is breathtaking.
Yeah, right now April is April's always a peak out here, but things are quite ahead of schedule this year, probably 2 to 3 weeks. So when visitors have been here, I've been telling them it's really just the peak time. So if you were to pan over here, if you wish again, there really are 4 natives in particular that I really like right now. There's the white flowered Trillium or Trillium ovatum. There are the lavender colored Erythronium revolutums and white colored Erythronium oregonums. And then we also do have a smattering of Viola sempervirens here. So these are all native plants that create this beautiful palette here too. And this is just expanding in its scope yearly too. So this is something that I really try to point out to visitors, is that if you really enjoy native plants, this is really the place to be.
And it's also, you've got a rock garden as well. I mean, you've got different areas that you can walk through.
Yes. So we have a rock garden. We have the historic collection of the leeches, which includes a lot of woody plants, quite a few that are from Asia and Southeast USA. And then we have a riparian collection too, and that primarily holds additional natives that you would find in that setting, along with the fern collection.
Well, you know, It's really beautiful here, but now we're going to take a little break. I'm going to walk over and talk to David about some really exciting things that are happening here at Leach Botanical Garden. So now I'm here with David Porter, and tell me what is your title here at the garden?
I'm the Executive Director at Leach Botanical Garden.
And you know, one of the things, I've lived here a long time, and of course I've known about Leach, but I think one of the fascinating things about this place is that John and Lila Leach owned it, but they had a pretty rich history themselves, didn't they?
They did. John and Lila Leach were extraordinary early civic leaders. Lila was an exploring botanist. John was a businessman in Southeast Portland and very successfully ran a pharmaceutical business, but they also went out and explored in the mountains of the Pacific Northwest, discovered plants, and then really tried to transform their community in a positive way. They were definitely philanthropic and generous with people. They didn't have any children, and happily they left Leach Botanical Garden to the city of Portland. So it's a true gem.
It really is. And one of the things that I love that's happening very soon now is a specific plant sale, is it not?
That's correct. We every year for, well, long before my time here, have had an annual plant sale, and this year's is Saturday, April 4th, so it's coming up almost immediately. We have about 18 different vendors of specialty plants, mostly Northwest natives.
Wow.
We'll be at Floyd Light Middle School from 9:30 till 2 p.m. And this year we're trying something new. Our members can get in early with their membership card from 9 to 9:30 and get an early shot at those plants. So
if there's the really fun stuff that they love, then they have a better chance of getting that. It's very clever.
Because some of those things aren't propagated in large quantities. And the most important thing about it, of course, is that it's a major fundraiser for the garden. It really supports us, and it's done largely by volunteers.
And you know, the garden is expanding. That's another great thing that's happening soon, isn't it?
We're at a very exciting time in Leach Botanical Gardens history. We've been open for 30 plus years as a public garden. Over that time, new land has been being acquired, and so we now have a little over 17 acres. We are doing a design for the upper garden, which is about 8 acres. We have a design team led by Land Morphology and Olson Kundig architects out of Seattle. They're brilliant people who have worked on botanical gardens around the country.
Nice.
And so our objective is to have new visitor facilities, better parking, places for the community to use activities and events, and most importantly, presentations of the sun-loving collections that right now don't do so well in the shaded part of the lower garden. So things like a Darlingtonia fen. We're going to have a physic garden because John was a pharmacist. John Leach was a pharmacist and had a physic garden in the 1930s, but we're going to be talking about plants' interactions with humans in the 21st century. So looking at textiles, manufacturing, and pharmaceuticals.
So it just seems to keep getting better and better.
It does.
Well, you know, certainly we would invite you to go to gardentime.tv. We'll click you over to their website. Come out, spend some time here, go to the plant sale. There's wonderful events that can happen here. So just go and just get some great information about this wonderful jewel.
You could look at leachgarden.org as well and find out more about the design and actually give your thoughts on the subject, because we'll have ways for people to interact with it.
There you go, everything you want to do to celebrate Leach Botanical Garden. Thank you so much.
Locally grown, fresh from the farm, stylish and sustainable, your dream yard starts at Al's Garden Center. Create an inviting gathering place for family and friends with a new patio furniture collection. Our beautiful furniture transforms any outdoor space, large or small. It's like having an extra room outdoors. Then fire up the grill. We have lots to choose from in a variety of sizes and styles. Sunny days are calling. Get your new grill now. Al's Garden Centers in Woodburn, Sherwood, and Gresham.
For over 75 years, Collier Arbor Care has provided tree, shrub, and lawn care services to the Portland metro area. From large tree to small shrub pruning, tree removal, and stump grinding, we can handle all your tree care needs. Our arborists diagnose and treat your toughest insect and disease problems. We also have organic solutions for growing and maintaining healthy lawns, as well as organic nutrition for your trees and shrubs. Collier Arbor Care, environmentally friendly since 1937.
It's the 13th annual Garden Palooza, April 11th at Fir Point Farms. See over 45 plant growers and garden vendors. Free parking and free admission. Enter to win a $2,500 garden makeover from French Prairie Perennials. Garden Palooza, Saturday, April 11th at Fir Point Farms.
At French Prairie Perennials, we take pride in being different. From our rare, unique, and unusual plant material and handcrafted garden art to our visualscaping program, we can help you create an outdoor living space as unique as you are. Our gift shop has home and garden decor and gifts for all occasions. Visit our store in the heart of Oregon wine country, French Prairie Perennials, Dundee, Oregon. Outdoor living elevated.
I'm at Par Lumber with Amber, and Amber, I downloaded this potting bench that I want to build all by myself. So I've come to you to ask you for your advice.
No, this is great. This has a great picture with measurements on it, as well as a list of materials and measurements on those. So we can absolutely figure out what you need and give you some different options for materials as well.
Oh, that's great. Thanks so much for helping me. Let's go.
Yeah.
Amber, you even cut the wood for me. I am so far ahead of the game. It's going to make it so easy.
Yeah, this is great. You gave us tons of time, and so, you know, most of our yards, we're capable of doing this. If we're given the time, we'll do it for you, no problem.
That's great. And then you recommend these screws?
I do, yes. I'd also recommend pre-drilling this product. This is a tight knot cedar, which will hold up great in the outdoors.
Oh, perfect.
But you don't want your screws to not hold up as long as your wood is, so make sure they're a good exterior grade screw. And yeah, pre-drilling is always a good idea. You don't want to take all this time, to put this together and then have all your boards split out on you. So,
good. And then I can let it age, or should I do stain?
That's totally your preference.
Okay.
The great thing about cedar is you can let it age naturally. It'll hold up out in the elements great against any other wood, pretty much for gardening. But yeah, if you want to throw a sealer on it, this Penefin's great. It's a penetrating rosewood oil, so phenomenal. And you kind of get to, tone it up however you want, make it match your
that's true,
aesthetic.
match the deck, right?
Yeah, why not?
Beautiful. So Amber, I'm really going to try hard to do this by myself, but if I have any other questions, can I call?
You can call, you can come in, absolutely. We're here for you, that's what we do. So
thanks so much. Hey William, give us a hand. All right, we got some muscle coming.
Yeah.
All right.
You can handle this.
I'm going to take these. All right, Judy, here's the last piece of wood for this spot.
All right. Well, since Par cut all this wood for the potting bench project, we are ready to put this thing together. First, we assembled the top shelf and the bottom shelf. We made sure that the boards were spaced evenly. We pre-drilled all the boards before screwing them in together. In the center of each of the shelves, we added another piece for extra stability. Once the shelves were built, we laid them on their side. Then we used the front short boards and measured it so that we got a sense of space for the shelves. We moved the bottom shelf up just a bit so that we had more storage space under that lower shelf. We then attached the short front legs to the top of the shelf, making sure it was flush. Using our previous measurements, we attached the lower shelf to the short front leg, using the same method. Once the front legs were attached, now we will attach the back legs. We flipped the bench over and started to attach the back legs. We checked the measurement on the front legs to make sure that the back legs were at the same level. It's coming along pretty well so far. We're going to lay the bench down now and add some extra pieces for extra stability. Next, we're going to attach the decorative top shelf. This is going to give the piece a little bit more stability. We cut the ends off the decorative cedar fence boards, and we're going to use those for the end pieces. That's really going to add some polish to the piece. We're we're going to add a few more screws just to further stabilize the potting bench, and then we're done. So if you want the plans for the potting bench or to watch the video again, please go to gardentime.tv. We want to thank Par Lumber for giving us the wood and for cutting it all for this project. And I want to thank William. Thank you.
My pleasure, Judy.
Garden Time is brought to you by Portland Nursery, a passion for plants, a nursery for plant people.
Hi, I'm Sarah from Portland Nursery, where spring is our favorite time of year. It's the time to prepare your garden for planting. We invite you to get a jump on spring with our huge selection. Let Portland Nursery's staff of professionals help with groceries you can grow. We've got the seeds, veggie starts, and expertise to ensure your success. Visit portlandnursery.com for a list of classes and special events. Portland Nursery, helping make your backyard your favorite destination at 50th and Stark and 90th and Division.
Don't you just love all the things inside Garden Time magazine? So much great information about gardening.
I do, William. There's new plants, adventures, recipes, local gardeners, home tips.
And it's free, right in your email. But there's two things you left out.
What's that?
You and me. We write some of the articles and get to share our gardening knowledge.
Of course. I should have... William, where did you go?
Right here, Judy. You'll find both of us every month in Garden Time magazine.
Sign up for your free subscription on the Garden Time website.
This is for this, and that. And that's for that. And also this. We have nothing for this. This is for this and that. Made for him and her and them. GE Appliances, made for every American kitchen.
Shop the Great American Kitchen event and get a free upgrade, plus save up to $2,000. Visit Standard TV and Appliance today.
Millions of tulips transform an Oregon farm into one of the most colorful in America. The Iversons invite you to the Wooden Shoe Tulip Festival presented by Silverton Health. Enjoy a tulip market, food and wine, and fun for the kids. The Wooden Shoe Tulip Festival, open 9 to 6 daily now through May 3rd.
Since 1926, the Bonide Company has worked with homeowners to make their homes and gardens beautiful. If you have a garden problem, Bonide has the answer. Get a lawn that all the neighbors will envy with Bonide's DuraTurf grass seeds. Full sun to dense shade, DuraTurf is self-repairing, disease and insect resistant. Visit Bonide.com to find a local retailer and to download your free Bonide Problem Solver app for your iPhone or Droid.
So it is a real delight for me to be here at Portland Nursery on Stark Street. I'm here with my good friend Laura. How are you, Laura?
Good, William. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. And we are going to be talking today about plants that help us medically, and medicinal plants that we can use to really better our lives.
Yes.
I see the beautiful Rosa rugosa there, so let's just jump right in with that one.
It's leafing out right now this time of year, and I use to harvest a couple things off of it. One is the rose petals.
Okay.
I pick as they open up, and I put them in tea.
Yeah. Yep, that's rose.
Yeah, it's really delightful. Really adds. It's good for the heart and opening. And then I also make a rose hip conserve that I brought.
You brought some?
A spoon for you to taste.
Now, explain to me, because I'm no person of great skills in the kitchen. What is a conserve?
It's kind of like a jam, a runny jam.
Oh, that's really good.
Yes, and rose hips are really high in vitamin C. So imagine that on your toast in the morning.
That'd be absolutely delicious. Now, going on from that, I see, of course, our native kind of plant.
Yes, yes. This is Mahonia nervosa, or Oregon grape. It's getting ready to bloom.
Look at that.
Gorgeous. Thrives in dry shade. And once you get a big patch established, you harvest the roots.
Oh, really?
Yes, and it has a golden color, and it can help with phlegm. And when you're getting over a cold, it's really nice for that.
That's just, I would have never thought that. I would have thought flowers, but sometimes the roots are the key, aren't they?
Yep, and it's also good bitter for digestion.
Okay. Now, this looks like regular old yarrow.
It is regular old yarrow, and this is what I harvested from my yard a couple years ago.
From 2013?
Yes, it's been dried and kept in a cool, dry place, and I love fresh yarrow for stopping bleeding. So I chew it up and spit it out and put it on my wound. And then also, this I use in tea for fevers and when I have a cold.
So if you're out in the garden and you get a a cut from a rose thorn.
Yes.
You have this there, you just chew it up, you put it right on there, and helps with the bleeding.
There you go.
Very, very clever.
Yeah.
Now again, these both look like natives to me.
Mm-hmm. They are elderberries. They are actually cultivars of the European black elderberry, Sambucus nigra. You can also use our native blue elderberry, Sambucus caerulea. You harvest the flowers for teas for a cold, and you harvest the berries in the fall for making a syrup or teas, and it's fantastic for the immune system.
And it's nice that you can, I think that I heard you say this to me one time, that you can, if you get two of them, you get better pollination,
yes, yeah, 2 different ones for cross-pollination on the black elderberries.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Now there's some brilliant yellow down there. Tell me about that.
This is calendula that I harvested from my garden a few years ago. And I use this, I like to make oils and salves. It's got some antimicrobial properties, so it's great for scrapes and wounds and things.
And again, a plant that grows very easily for us in the Northwest.
Yeah, and it even reseeds, so you can get a population going year after year.
Now I'm seeing some books down there. Tell me a little bit about those as well.
Yes, this one is a great book about our native medicinals. Michael Moore, Medicinal Plants of the Pacific West.
So it specifically deals with what we're talking about.
Exactly, exactly. He's rather comical too. Okay. And then some catalogs for great resources to get medicinal seeds and plants online if you can't find them at your local nurseries.
Well now, the last thing I wanted to bring up here, Laura, was that there are some really great 4-inch things. A lot of these almost look like herbs to me. Would that be accurate?
It
so
is.
A lot of herbs then are medicinal.
Right. Thyme is great for clearing the sinuses.
And this would be the time of year, I would think, please correct me if I'm wrong, that you would want to plant these items, because if you wait till like summer, then you have to wait even longer for them to be ready to use.
Spring and fall are the best times to plant your medicinals. Spring for your annual ones, of course.
And then too, you know, this is, I mean, at Portland Nursery, you guys have such a huge selection of stuff. This really covers a very small amount of what you all offer in this arena.
It's true. It's a never-ending learning process. People go to schools. There's many schools in the area that will teach you about it and how the ethics and how to be safe.
Yes, and that's a big key. And you know, we've known each other a long time, Laura, and I have to say that no matter how much we know, do we not find there's always more to know?
It's very true, yes.
So if this interests you and you think, I want to get more information on this, I can't think of a better place to go than to Portland Nursery. Talk to their staff, pick up some of these great plants, and start a real healthy way of living in your own garden that maybe you had never thought of before. Thank you so much, Laura.
Thank you, William.
Well, we have a fun segment today. We're at Miller Elementary School in the Salem-Keizer School District, and I'm with Donna from Black Gold. And so, Donna, we have this classroom full of children, and what are we going to be doing?
Today we're going to be planting sweet pea seed in little peat pots here. And what we've done is provided Black Gold Natural and Organic for them to plant in. And they're going to be planting a sweet pea in this peat pots, and they'll be able to go home, water, and see them grow. And then they can take the peat pot and actually plant it right in the ground.
Wow, because these will just break down?
They'll break down in the ground, and actually they'll be able to enjoy them for a long time.
And sweet peas are so nice because they're so fragrant.
They are. So
all right, so start us off.
All right, so what the kids are going to do is they've got 2 peat pots per child, and they're filling it up with the soil. And what's new and exciting about the Black Gold soil is we've now put in resilience in, which is a natural mineral. It makes plants grow healthier and stronger.
Wow.
So look for it when you're at the store.
Okay.
Anyhow, so then they're going to do is they're actually going to put a couple sweet pea seeds in there. These were donated by Ed Hume, knee-high sweet peas. Then they're going to do is we're going to send them home in a baggie like that with instructions.
And about how deep should they be pushing those seeds
About right to the middle of this little peat pot.
Okay, and then cover up the little hole
Cover
with
it
soil?
up. Yep, that's it.
All right.
And then they need to keep them moist, kids, when you get home. Moist but not soggy. And put them in a sunny location. In about 10 to 14 days, you're going to see that little sweet pea start sneaking out of there. So. It'll be fun.
Yeah, and then the flowers are all different colors and they're really fragrant, so you're really going to enjoy them.
Okay, so another thing that the Salem-Keizer School District gets to participate in if they want is all kindergarten, 1st and 2nd grade school teachers. If you're interested in doing this project in your classroom, in a few weeks we will have all of the supplies needed to do this for your classroom. What you do is contact Garden Time and let them know if you want a seed starting kit, so you can do what we're doing in the classroom today with your classroom. And the seeds starting kits are sponsored by Capital Subaru, Garden Time, and Black Gold.
And don't forget, the seed starting kits are available to teachers that are kindergarten, first grade, and second grade in the Salem-Keizer School District. And then also, next week is Garden Palooza. So if you go by the Black Gold booth, you can also get seeds. Cosmos seeds are beautiful summer flowers. And these seeds are sponsored by Capital Subaru and Garden Time.
Also, if you come by my booth and get the seeds, you can pick up a rebate. All you do is buy $10 worth of Black Gold products, fill it out with your receipt, send it in, and get a check in the mail. Everybody loves that.
Yeah.
So you can get seed, and you can also get a $3 rebate.
And
we have a contest going on, or enter to win a Build a Better Garden with Black Gold.
Wow.
You just come by, sign up your email, and you could win a $500 check in the mail from Black Gold for your building a better garden. And also, Portland Nursery is going to throw in garden makeover ideas.
Wow, wow.
So it'll be really fun. Come see me at the Garden Palooza booth at Garden Palooza next week.
And so for more information, go to gardentime.tv. You can find all those connections, all those links, and really start some seeds today. Thanks so much, Donna.
Thank you.
If you build it right. Build it to last. Don't just build it for yourself. Build it for the next generation. Build it with Par Lumber. And keep building the Great Northwest.
Par Lumber is celebrating 85 years as a local, family-owned company. From our house to yours, we send a heartfelt thank you.
It's the 13th Annual Garden Palooza, April 11th at Fir Point Farms. See over 45 plant growers and garden vendors. Free parking and free admission. Enter to win a $2,500 garden makeover from French Prairie Perennials. Garden Palooza, Saturday, April 11th at Fir Point Farms.
Nestled in the oaks of the Willamette Valley is a nursery that is truly exceptional. At Out in the Garden Nursery, you will find a vast array of shade plants, ornamental grasses, and hardy perennials. Let us help you bring color and texture into your garden. We offer over 100 types of perennials. Many of our plants are evergreen for year-round interest. Plus, we offer the best in personal attention. Out in the Garden Nursery, where we grow great gardens one plant at a time.
Millions of tulips transform an Oregon farm into one of the most colorful in America. The Iversons invite you to the Wooden Shoe Tulip Festival presented by Silverton Health. Enjoy a tulip market, food and wine, and fun for the kids. The Wooden Shoe Tulip Festival, open 9 to 6 daily now through May 3rd.
Garden Time's Incredible Edibles.
I am at World Food Market down in the Pearl with Myrna. And Myrna, what a beautiful store. It really has everything. But then this produce market, it is unbelievable.
Thank you. It's beautiful here, and to see all the spring vegetables, and we're going to show the customer how they can use them in their kitchen too.
You know, that helps so much because I come to places like this and it's like, well, what do I do with it? Or else I do the same thing all the time. So you're really going to give us a hint on how we can put a little different twist to it.
Yeah, we're going to show the customer how they can use the fresh fava bean with the shell on. This time of year, the fava bean are very tender, so we're going to cook them.
And that's very different than later on in the season. When
yeah,
you have
later
to
on, it's gonna be, the skin's gonna be very tough. You only use the beans inside, and then we're gonna cook some okra.
Oh wow, and that's an unusual one. I always think of that's just in stews or something. So this is gonna be interesting.
Yeah, it's gonna be beautiful. The colors when you roast them too. And then we're gonna use some broccolini. It's beautiful, thin and green.
Just a little different than broccoli.
Yeah, much thinner.
Yeah, and asparagus, which is one of my favorites.
Oh yeah, asparagus. That's the best.
And what about herbs?
Yeah, our mint is beautiful here.
Nice.
I cannot cook without mint. I love mint. And then of course parsley.
Anything else we need to look while we're here on this beautiful wall?
And then maybe we'll use the sugar snap peas.
Okay.
They're beautiful too.
Wow, this is just really an interesting group of different kind of vegetables. You could either do some of these or less. It just doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. In any season, you just pick whatever you have in your produce section and roast them in the oven, and you'll have a beautiful platter.
So should we go to the kitchen?
Yeah, let's go cook them.
All right. So now we're in the kitchen at World Market, and so this is a really busy place.
It is.
So how should we start?
So we're gonna start with the toughest vegetables like fava bean. We're gonna clean the top and cut it in half.
And so why do we want to start with those first?
Because it's the toughest vegetables between all the groups of veggies here that we have, and we wanna cook them first so we can assemble the dish after.
So maybe we're going to have 2 trays of vegetables instead of putting everything together at once?
We're going to put the softer one in one tray and the quickest one to cook in one tray, and then the longest veggies, it takes more time, in another tray. So they cook all evenly.
And that makes a lot of sense. So at home, you're not going to have some that are so limp and some that are not cooked enough.
Yeah, you will have everything cooked the same thing. If you put them all together, some of them are going to be mushy and some of them are going to be still hard.
And then here at World Market, you have a beautiful deli, so you have all kinds of things for the people in this area.
Yeah, we have a big kitchen. We prepare everything from scratch here, homemade food. We have a wine bar. We have a pastry bar that we have pastry chef that
oh wow,
we do all the pastry in here.
Right in house.
Right in the house. Yeah, it's very nice, and we have some tables indoor, outdoor. You can sit down and enjoy the food, enjoy the sunny weather.
And it's not just that you come here, you can have staples, you have your bread and milk and eggs, but you can get beautiful cheese or things from around the world, unusual olive oils from the Middle East.
Yeah,
really
we have
something.
Beautiful items from everywhere. It's really fun to shop here.
It is. And so the next vegetable is okra?
Okra is next. We're gonna put it with the fava bean.
Okay.
So you take the top of the okra and then you cut it in half. It's beautiful to see the seeds.
And leave those too? You don't have to take the seeds out?
No, you leave them. They're good. And then now we're gonna add to those veggies our prepared shallots and garlic.
And so we kind of cheated a little bit, so we sliced all these ahead of time.
Yes. So we're gonna put a little bit on top.
And that's such a pretty color with the
garlic
pink
on top.
And you really can never have enough garlic.
There is some olive oil.
Is there certain kinds of olive oil you like, or anything?
We like the siphon olive oil shipped from Lebanon.
Ah, of course.
Yeah. And of course some kosher salt.
Just a few pinches on
that. And some black pepper. And mix them very well.
And so about how long would you put that in the oven?
About 10 to 18 minutes maybe, until they are welted and a little bit burned.
And then at what temperature?
450.
All right. All right. So Myrna, while that's cooking, we're going to work on the softer vegetables.
We're going to start with the broccoli here. We'll take the bottom stem.
You don't use those, okay.
And on the asparagus.
Take the bottom off, okay.
The bottom off.
And with the asparagus, you could snap them too, like we do. Some people snap the asparagus at the bottom, or else you can cut them.
Yeah, you can cut them, unless you want to show a beautiful platter. I'm going to leave them the way they are.
Okay.
I'm going to put them on the tray
all whole, okay.
All whole. And then I'm going to add my sugar snap peas to that tray too.
And are we going to cut those up or leave them whole?
We're going to cut them.
Okay. Just slice them.
Put them in between the asparagus.
Are you going to use more onion and shallots and garlic too?
Yes, I'm going to add them to my soft vegetables here.
All right. Wow, that adds so much flavor though.
Yeah, they add flavor. And it's my seasoning, onion and shallots. And then this way, you know, it's a very easy way for people to cook at home any time of year. They have the oven, fast on 450. They put their veggies on a tray, some olive oil.
And 450, that's a pretty high temperature.
It is
but
pretty
you
high.
like that temperature.
It's very good. It cooks very quickly and make your food very crispy and tender in the same time.
So Myrna, how much time on the softer vegetables then?
Also like 10 minutes also.
Okay. Now Myrna, that smells wonderful. It looks delicious, and that was pretty fast.
It's a beautiful, fast dish you can have on your table in 10-15 minutes of work. And then we're gonna dress it up now. We're gonna squeeze some fresh lemon juice.
Right. So when you did cook it though, when we took it out, it has a little bit of brown on it, so then we know it's done.
Yeah, it's a little bit charred, so it's done and beautiful.
All right. And then lemon for extra flavor.
Lemon for extra flavor.
And we did go ahead and chop some of the herbs that we'll be adding too.
Yeah, we're gonna add some fresh mint. We will mix it in.
Okay, and just take it off. We're not chopping it anymore. We just kind of took it off the stems.
Yes. And then some parsley.
Okay. And we didn't have to cook that. It's just going to wilt with the heat from the vegetables.
Yes. And then we're gonna have some fresh feta cheese on top.
Oh, wow. And what a nice little accent of feta cheese on there.
And we're gonna finish it with a green nut, pistachio.
And a little crunch.
You can add a little bit of olive oil on the side of your dish to finish the green look of your platter.
Oh, okay. So not just delicious, but also very beautiful to look at.
Thank you.
So this spring vegetable dish is not only beautiful, it's easy and quick for your family, and it's very nutritious. You know, you can come down to World Market down in the Pearl or the one on Barber and come and taste all the delicious things they have here. Thanks, Myrna. This was great.
Thank you for coming here.
Thanks for watching this first hour-long episode of Garden Time this year. Now remember, these hour-long episodes will be going on through the end of June.
And don't forget about Leach Botanical Garden plant sale happening today. And for more information about that or anything else you saw on today's show, please go to gardentime.tv.
Also, Garden Palooza is just 1 week away. For information on that, you can go to gardentime.tv or gardenpalooza.com.
So we'll see you next week at Garden Palooza.
It's the 13th annual Garden Palooza, April 11th at Fir Point Farms. See over 45 plant growers and garden vendors. Free parking and free admission. Enter to win a $2,500 garden makeover from French Prairie Perennials. Garden Palooza, Saturday, April 11th at Fir Point Farms.
The proceeding was a paid program of the Guston Creative Group and its sponsors.